Three, two, one, boom.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be once again talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft because we have some very stunning developments to cover, including this post right here. So I was originally going to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows for other reasons that we'll cover later in this video, but just before recording, this dropped from...
Too long didn't read. We're sorry. We're sorry, chat. We're sorry we freaked up.
The official Assassin's Creed account saying this: the Assassin's Creed Shadows team has a message for our Japanese community who is very upset about many different aspects of this game, as well as some decisions made by Ubisoft. And this honestly felt like a present because today is my birthday. And to celebrate my birthday, Boo Market has gone crazy, okay? You can see the merch right here.
Yay!
They really went above and beyond for this summer merch drop right here.
So cute.
As you can see, we have a brand new summer poster, a jet tag keychain, a new limited edition collectible XXL mouse pad available until fall of 2024, including an LED version option if you like that as well, and a mini Rev Docky keychain available
very
for
cute,
only
very
1 month
stylish
as a pre-order. So yeah, there is a lot to check out there. It's a banger. I mean, what else can you say? So I'll put all the relevant information, the links in the description and the pinned comment. Make sure to check it out if you're interested. So let's move back to the topic for today, Assassin's Creed Shadows. So this is developed by Ubisoft, who is being hit real hard. If you look at their stock, it has been taking...
Ooh, that's not very good. It's flatlining.
A big tumble over the past couple of days, which is odd because they recently released their financial reports and things seemed pretty good for the previous quarter, and they also said they had positive net bookings and strong guidance. So why is the stock dropping? Well, it has to do with some comments made during these events where basically Ubisoft is trying to put all their money on Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they're claiming that a lot of the promise of this game is surrounding the community reaction to this game. Bad choice of words.
The gameplay for our two highly anticipated upcoming premium titles, Star Wars Outlaws and
Star Wars Outlaws was the thing we just saw, yeah.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, was not only praised by players and critics alike, but also highlighted the cutting-edge capabilities of our game engine.
Why do they just straight up lie? Is it because the stock people don't, like, investigate? They just say things? Why does it sound robotic? Because it's a conference call. They call people on phones because boomers invest money into it and they don't know how to use, like, Discord or Zoom.
Could you talk about pre-orders for both Outlaws and Shadows and how they compare to previous titles?
So in terms of, we don't disclose nor comment pre-orders usually. What we can say is that what we've been observing and measuring is that our two big titles actually are indeed among the most awaited games of the...
the most awaited games of l'industrie. It's very, very good game. Trust me, please give me more money. Do not look at Twitter or YouTube.
Of the industry, and they enjoy a very strong positive community sentiment overall.
Yeah, very good community reception.
Yeah, it's not surprising that a lot of investors are very worried about this game because its success is being tied to the community reaction, and the community reaction to Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft is absolutely abysmal right now. Not just on the English side, but primarily on the Japanese market that is the center of this game. This is the setting of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it is being very heavily criticized. I mean, we've seen all of the trailers and promote.
I still can't believe they put in, like, hard, like, rap beats in the game when you engage in combat if you're, like, playing Yasuke. Like, it was like hip-hop beats, trap remix from YouTube. Bing, bing, bing. It was so bad.
Emotional videos for this game getting review bombed and dislike bombed, whether it's on the English release or the Japanese release. We've seen a merch scandal through Ubisoft, who basically they got caught purchasing items off of Amazon and then trying to repurpose them for their own unique limited edition Assassin's Creed Shadows artwork or merch.
Yeah, it would turn out to be One Piece like merch that they resold on from Amazon. Yeah, isn't that crazy? They were like, this is like an artifact that we like replicated after the influence of Yasuke and the new Assassin's Creed. And it was just like a Zoro sword from Amazon.
And then on top of that, we have a petition from the Japanese side of gamers that has over 100,000 signatures rallying against this game, trying to shut it down. We've also seen political action in the works because of the historical inaccuracies being reinforced by this game. But the main thing that everyone is talking about is the fact that they chose Yasuke and labeled him as a samurai. Until only recent weeks, it was pretty unanimous that he was not a samurai, he was a retainer. However, that narrative has been challenged by people with no evidence. We first saw this with this individual right here. So this person and their video went viral on social media where this guy claimed that Yasuke was a samurai. And everyone was sharing this, saying anyone questioning the choice of Yasuke as the main character.
Again, I don't know what I'm talking about. I usually just got my info from other people that claim to be historians. There were a lot of people that claim to be like experts in actually Yasuke was a samurai and he was an honorable samurai at that, and that he was also considered not a retainer.
Or the label of a samurai are wrong because this guy says otherwise. Well, he had no proof, by the way. And on top of that, it was discovered by Japanese users that this guy wasn't a historian. He was a waiter at a restaurant. He was basically just a Japanese guy wearing a kimono.
A faker.
And people in the West said, haha, he must be an expert on Japanese culture. So after that, people moved to Thomas Lockley. This is an absolute disaster, and it's been unfolding over the past couple of days. He has made a book called Yasuke, the true story of the legendary African samurai.
Let me guess. Source, I made it up.
On various accounts tied to Lockley, he has been caught vandalizing the Wikipedia page of Yasuke for years. He has intentionally removed sources that support the narrative that he was simply a retainer and
Wait, why is he allowed to do that, man? Doesn't Wikipedia like lock you down as soon as you start like fucking with their website? Like faking and making stuff up? That's crazy.
Promoted his own work in place of it. Basically a giant scam to promote his book, and now he is labeled by many as the expert on Yasuke. However, many Japanese users are infuriated as they have discovered this book recently that makes many false claims, including the claim that African slaves were popular in Japan. Yeah, imagine this guy rewriting your history for some ridiculous book he is trying to sell and now being labeled as an expert of your culture. It is ridiculous.
Let me guess, I'm 1/15 Japanese, therefore.
And he is now actually under investigation by the university he works at because of how badly this book is being criticized. And on top of that, there is, like I mentioned earlier, some movement in the politicians of Japan who are looking into this book and this individual and the damage it is causing with its revised history of Japan.
No way! The politicians are looking into this? Oh my god, man. This guy done goofed, man.
And now we move on to the latest candidate trying to promote this Yasuke samurai narrative. We have this individual named Hirayama Kentaro. Now, he was shared in this viral post from Culture Crave where they say Japanese historian Yu Hirayama says that Yasuke was a samurai. Now, you'll notice in this post and all of the related posts from that historian that there is no evidence. There's no evidence. It's all
You know what's crazy about this whole ordeal? Is if Ubisoft just took the L right from the get-go and just said, it's not real, we're just making it like fiction. Because they would have taken the L and people wouldn't have cared that deeply, and they would just be like, oh, well, Ubisoft's just doing like a like an insert into like you know for DEI reasons or for reasons that we just don't understand or whatever. But the fact that they're trying to like push this into reality makes it so much worse. Like, we would have been talking about it like 3 months ago and nobody would have cared after like 3 months. But now we're still talking about this. This happened like what, in May? Like, what the hell are we doing?
Speculation, and yet this post went viral because people thought this was an own against people who were challenging the narrative that Yasuke was a samurai when the historical evidence supports that he was a retainer. And people like this are saying you're racist for challenging that. In the process, calling a great number of people from Japan racist for questioning these unfounded claims about Yasuke. And here is a post from Hirayama. He makes his claims here, and again, you'll notice, just like every other, there's no actual evidence of anything to support his claims. In fact, people started digging into this man and what he's all about. Turns out he is a supporter of the Japanese Communist Party. That's not a very good start. On top of that, he ascribes himself to the Marxist historiography philosophy. Basically, this type of historical approach does not require empirical evidence. Basically, if it feels like it happened.
What? The vibes? Yeah, like, he didn't... We should start doing this in court. Sir, your honor, this guy just doesn't feel like a murderer, chat. He just doesn't feel like a murderer. Yeah. There's no evidence of him being a murderer, so therefore he just couldn't have done it.
That means it happened.
Yeah,
speculation. That is kind of the theme going on in this video. And you can see also some of his biggest critics have gone very hard on Hirayama, basically claiming that he has no bearing in reality with his claims. And on top of that, even his supporters are starting to admit that all of this is just speculation. That is the best argument they can have to support.
But that's fine. You can speculate and, like, argue. That's what historians do. I'm saying, like, for a video game, you can't just, like, you can't, you could just say it's fictional and they put it in and nobody could argue with them. It's like, oh, well, you know, we just did it because we thought it'd be cool. It's kind of cringe, but, like, whatever.
The claim that Yasuke was a samurai. Well, that has all led to this. There has been so much outrage on social media, primarily from Japanese users. Despite whatever Western Twitter users will claim, a lot of people from Japan are really, really angry at Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft, and also these people trying to make these claims about Yasuke. So they released this statement earlier today saying, the Assassin's Creed Shadows team has a message for our Japanese community. By the way, this is what damage control looks like, ladies and gentlemen. But let's read the statement. So, 1 out of 4 here.
Oh my god, there's 4 pages of this crap!
To our esteemed Japanese community, a message from the Assassin's Creed Shadows development team. First, we want to express our heartfelt thanks for all of your support for the Assassin's Creed series, which is now has its own history spanning almost 20 years. Over this time, we have explored various settings, time periods, and characters from Assassin during the Third Crusade to a Viking in 9th century England and countless more. For many of our team, creating an Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan has been a long cherished dream. Since the announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows, we have received many positive reactions, but also some criticism, including from you, our Japanese players. We share our passion for history and deeply respect your care for the historical and cultural integrity of your rich heritage.
The other thing that I don't really understand is, like, did they not filter this through a public relations, like magnifying glass? Japan is, like, notoriously xenophobic. I've seen a lot of TikToks of, like, women and men who are born half black, half white, or half black, half Japanese, and living in Japan, and people still being super racist to them. So, like, kind of like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, It's a cultural barrier that you cannot pierce. Not only, like, you can argue and say, oh, it's fictional, it doesn't hurt anybody, it's just a game, but it's like, what did you really expect from, like, a rather xenophobic, like, country? 90% of the population is Japanese. Yeah, and, like, I've heard some sad stories of people being discriminated against, even though they were born in Japan, lived in Japan all their life, just because they have dark skin. Or darker skin, darker complexion. Like, what are we smoking?
We would like to address a few points to clarify our intentions and creative decisions. Overall authenticity efforts. We have put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. However, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as a factual representation of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity and encourage players to
Okay, but then what did you expect? It's like, this is almost like a fuck around and find out moment for Ubisoft, really, truly.
Explore and learn more about the historical settings we get inspired by. Assassin's Creed Shadows is first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction set in feudal Japan. Our team extensively collaborated with external consultants, historians,
external consultants that turned out to be making shut up source